Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, Christelle Martinet, Claudia Monacelli, and I will be working today to honor and commemorate Sushant Singh Rajput. And of course, there are the questions, but the way I'm going to work, I'll show you. I will be working with him covering me. I need to concentrate because with all of the people in the chat, it will be difficult for me to work. And it will be his spirit that chooses any, if any, questions that he would like to respond to. So welcome to my channel. If you're here for the first time, welcome. Subscribe, push that bell to get notified. And for those of you who are interested in any kind of work I do for personal readings, you can contact me up above. Or for any of the conscious movement lessons that I have. The first lesson is free. You write to me at this email. Any of the two will be okay. So let's get started and see what he has to say to us today. Just be yourself and healthy, because you all may want to know how I was killed. But this I have responded to in other videos here, and I pray you to go watch those. Yes, there are so many people involved in my justice, as you call it, finding justice, in my justice campaign. This is not my priority, but your priority. I visit you, all of you who ask about me in your dreams. It is me, indeed. I am with you. When you ask about living in your soul's authenticity, there are different ways to respond, but the most important is this. No matter what kind of work you do, any work you do is a service. To be authentic to your soul is to quiet yourself and hear what your voice is telling you. Your voice will say to you directly what sort of practice, of divine practice, you should be conducting, and most importantly, how you need to extend yourself and help others. The key to be in your authenticity is to be of service to the divine and to others. So many people ask me about my dreams. They ask, was he in my dream? I can say to you that your mind, when it works to visualize or conjure up a clear image or energy that seems like a clear image, it is indeed me and others you see in your dreams. Your thoughts conjure up energy, and it is that kind of energy, your thought energy, that will bring those spirits that feel it to you. When you ask if I am still a part of the mission I started on earth, I have to say that my mission continues, and the very essence of my mission goes on and is carried with me as my soul moves on, whether I reincarnate or not. You must beware of the fact that everyone has a mission. Everyone is part of a mission, is part of an energetic space that they have either been born into or have grown into. Whatever you do, whatever good you do, or anything you produce, know that it is not lost, because the energy of your actions and thoughts lives on. I ask you to see other messages I have responded to here, and I was asked about my cremation and my body that was not indeed cremated, but hidden in a lake, and it is still there. There are questions concerning my actions as being a spy, and this is partially true. I had a job to do, a certain reporting to do, and I did that work. I cannot give you more information about this. But also know that death is not a sacrifice for any mission. Death comes when the divine decides it is necessary, because your mission and your work on earth has come to fruition. You cannot possibly miss me when you say you miss my smile. What is in a smile? It is the thoughts that you bring to that presence, the meaning you infuse into my being on earth. But yes, I am still shining a light, and my smile as such has light. Many of you ask about twin flames and soul mates. I understand that many of you know the difference. And you must also understand that these words are metaphors as well. But let's use them to understand something. Ankita was part of my life. I would not call her a twin flame, but someone who worked alongside me and walked alongside me for a bit of my life. And because of that, we could have been considered parts of a flame. I am truly, so very truly at peace here, in peace as well. I want for nothing and I lack nothing. There is nothing that you need to worry about for me, but I suggest you find closure and keep your flame, your own flame burning, if that's what you need to feel that you are helping my spirit. I have to say, it does not help me directly, but it helps those like you band together and form a community and feel that you are one. There is so much more to tell you about others here who have passed. So many questions abound concerning whether I have seen them and I have met them. We do meet, we do attract to each other because of our like vibrational state. But there is no cafe in the sky. So our vibrations are simply vibrations. And as such, yes, I can say we have met. There is nothing I can tell you about any relationship that you say may have gone wrong. You know, if we need to talk in metaphors, like you suggest with twin flames or soulmates, let me give you another metaphor. Relationships, intimate relationships, emotional relationships, and love relationships are like a centrifuge. The thing that you use to dry your salad when you wet it and clean it and soak it. You remove the water. You take the handle and wind it around and around and around. The action and the dynamics moves all of the salad to the walls of that instrument. That is what happens to people who are coupled or live together. They are spread apart, pushed apart by life's occurrences. It is a natural phenomenon. What is not a natural phenomenon is the idiocy of people who do not understand this and do not try to communicate with each other. There is something I must say concerning my visits. I visit different families, my family, of course, my loved ones, my friends that are still alive, very close friends, but also the many people who envied me. I visit them regularly to watch and once again see their pain, their desire, and their secrets, and try to remember how life on earth was because of those secrets, desires, and pain that came of it. Try to remember that you need to rise above the superficial reactions of people and your superficial reactions, because it will not serve you in any way. You ask about a soul contract. And what happens if your soul contract does not complete before you pass? I call these contracts experiences or lessons that your soul has decided to experience in that lifetime. However, if you are killed or you suddenly die and your contract or your lesson or experience has not been completed 100%, it may not be moved to a subsequent lifetime. It depends on whether your soul is enough satisfied with the experience it had in the previous lifetime. Your soul may decide to choose a different contract or lesson depending on the experiences it had in the previous life. There are so many messages. You ask me if I have one for you specifically, and I am giving you now these messages. Of course, you must remember that all of you, like I was, and like you continue to tell me I was, so talented, you all each have a perfect soul and an extremely divine talent. You need to recognize it, and you need to listen to your soul attest to your perfection. Your talents are even greater than mine. You ask me about an ego, about my ego. If my ego came between me and people I knew. As humans, everyone has an ego. This is part of being human. Necessarily, it is not only negative, but it is something that makes us survive in extreme cases, and it is necessary. You ask about Lord Krishna, if he was real and still alive or not. He was, and will be real. He was a real person, is no longer among us, among you. But remember, no one person has the status of deity than the divine. Of course, they have divine characteristics, surely. And they also are very highly spiritually inclined and have an extremely high rate of expansion of the soul. Their vibrational rate is very high. You ask as well, if I was healed before passing. You see, the question perhaps is not put properly. Every moment, every second of every waking hour and your sleeping hour, there is healing going on. There is a job that is being done. And therefore, I cannot say I was not healed. Not at all. I passed, I was in the light, and I remained in the light. I did not remain among you as earthbound. I too love so much all of you who reach out to me, and it's infinite. It is unconditional, infinite. Like I said, I have indeed merged with the light. When I passed, it was an immediate merging with the light. I thank you all for wanting and praying for my justice. But once again, I remind you, this is not what a soul desires or seeks. There is no desire any longer. There are those of you who ask me monetary questions, asking me questions of risk, asking questions about the stock market, or will you buy a home? If you will ever have your home, when will it be? Which year? These are questions I cannot answer for you because they are experiences you yourself need to have, and messages that you are not meant to have. I have to say once and for all that yes, I am alive here with you. My soul will never pass. But in the flesh and blood, Sushant Singh Rajput is no more. I am not alive in that sense. There are dimensions that we enter when we sleep and when we time travel or move to astral planes. You ask if people can change dimensions and change their vibrational rate. Yes, indeed, they can. It is not necessarily a shift as such. It is not immediate. It is the culmination of a series of actions, thoughts, but more than anything, actions. Thoughts are not enough. Actions need to take place. When you ask, is there a true Lord, a true God? Who is the God? Please let me explain this without criticizing or calling into question your beliefs. As I said before, humans are limited in their scope, in their divine mission, and in their scope. Even the greatest of psychics, mediums, gifted seers cannot see what they are not meant to see. A God, as you ask, is a divine essence that is present in all of you. There is something to clarify here because there are phenomena, and you have heard of these, that are described as being possessed. People may be possessed. It is true that the amount of negative vibrations or negative entity attachment to an individual soul can be such that it completely overshadows a divine presence. And this is the time you need to truly care for that, because the result will be and will come out and emerge as illness and will ultimately bring you to your demise in the long run. You can fight against this. You can fight against it by raising your vibrational state. How you can do this is the question that is asked all over the world and can be read in many websites. People speak of this all over the world. Search for it. Look for it. Read. Educate yourself on what a soul is. Is consciousness? What is it? Is it a soul? Can I increase the level of my consciousness? This is the question you should be asking. Several of you also have said that you are stuck. And I ask you, do you know what that truly means? Can you write it down? The meaning of being stuck. How? Spiritually, educationally, emotionally, in your family. What is being stuck all about? This is where I invite you, all of you, to find that inner conscious spirit and the voice within that will tell you how to emerge from this situation. There are questions concerning sacrifices and are prayers necessary? Are they working? Do my visits to temples work? What should I do? Do I give gifts to the spiritual world? Will that help me? I have to say that every action you do for the purpose of furthering your spirituality is vital. Prayer is fundamental, but you will be surprised if I told you how important singing is. Using your vocal cords to make sound. Raising collective consciousness comes from within. The movement for SSR justice is a collective consciousness movement. The reason for its fantastic importance is because it allows the collective consciousness to come together and rise. When you ask what is necessary for you to please me, I have to say, like I have said before, I am no one. I am a soul, just like you are souls. And the importance of my speaking to you is to tell you that you are divine just like you believe I am. Remember, I said you have God within you. That is what makes you perfect. My love is infinite, unbounded, and unconditional for you all. Try to use your vocal cords. Try to use your vocal cords and sing. Please allow me to thank you for having come to celebrate me once again. I love you all, but I will be back. Goodbye. That was a mouth full of, I felt like water was coming out. I felt like a river was coming out. I see now that someone wrote, "Can you please raise the volume?" I hope that you can hear me, but I believe that I'm audible. If not, I can see what I can do, or not. Thank you for joining me. I will come again, and we will be channeling different souls when they come to me, because everyone writes to me, channel this, channel that, but they have to come to me. If you keep writing to me about KK, I have to see that person, or has that soul has to come to me, or else I cannot communicate with them. Again, write to me if you're interested in a private reading. Come to my consciousness and movement classes. The first is free. They're absolutely wonderful, very different from anything that you've ever tried. It's nothing like yoga, and it's nothing like anything that you've ever tried. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye. Stay well. Stay well.